So, I have a pleasure to interview Mary Page.
Hi.
And so, hi Mary, thanks for joining us today.
Quite
How
right.
are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's been raining here and we've just come back from lunch and
lovely.
trying to stay dry.
No, you look amazing.
Thank you.
So, how was your BrightonSEO speech?
It was okay. I was talking about harnessing the power
Why
of
okay? It
Facebook
was
groups.
awesome.
It was, well, you know, that tried to be a little self-effacing here. No, the room was standing room only, and people said some really nice things and tweeted some nice things. So I think it went well.
So it was very good actually, based on users' feedback.
Yeah, so far.
So what were you talking about?
I was talking about the power of Facebook groups. So just in
Lovely.
an age where page reach is really, really poor, could groups be a viable alternative, particularly for commercial brands? We know groups work well in a sort of community setting and for causes, but could they really work well for commercial brands? So the argument I was really making was that, you know, we spend a lot of money on sponsorship of things. Why not consider Facebook groups as a form of sponsorship where you are hosting a discussion and a conversation about topics that are very relevant to your brand, extremely relevant to your users, and groups, because of the way that the algorithm works on Facebook and the fact that within groups people feel really confident and they're happy to talk and they share more of themselves and engagement's better and reach is better. Groups surely are the kind of magic button on Facebook right now.
Yeah, well, pages, they simply don't work. They discontinued working for some time ago, but right now, just due to all Facebook algo changes, it's just simply not showing.
I mean, since Facebook Zero, so a few months ago now, you're seeing an average page reach of around about 7%, but there are plenty of pages that saw a massive drop and they're now like around at 1 or 2%. And they were the ones that were doing clickbait kind of content or those videos where they were getting people to vote using reactions, and Facebook has really, really clamped down hard on those. It's good for the rest of us that were playing the game that weren't doing kind of dodgy practice, but it just means that reach is just really hard unless you pay for advertising, and even then engagement
even like
is really challenging.
Also, it's not like, you know, a kind of a savvy button, something like that. It's not going to just, you know, make the same engagement as it's just, you know what.
No, pages are not like they were years ago, so we need to look at other ways. We need to really be looking at advertising. We need to be looking at things like groups.
Yeah, so and I have a question actually about Facebook algos, because I know that you do quite a lot, like experimenting with Facebook, and so what kind of things do you think Facebook prioritizes much and more? So when I open my Facebook and scroll through this, what kind of
why are you saying what you're saying? Well, Zuckerberg shared quite a lot actually about the way that the algorithm works when the Facebook Zero thing or the Facebook apocalypse happened. And we know that really engaging conversations are key. So if you can create content that people engage with, and that means that they have meaningful conversations with their family, their friends, with other people in the thread, that's like the crazy thing that will mean that your reach will go.
The core thing,
So just getting likes is not good enough. You've really got to create content that's very engaging. So we know that video is engaging. We know that live video is the most engaging piece of content you can do.
Thanks to autoplay.
Yeah. So, you know, anything that is going to get people commenting and, yes, of course, sharing and liking and all the rest, but it is that meaningful conversation rather than just getting pure likes and just getting visibility. They're at war against passive consumption of content. So if all people are doing is reading and watching, it's sending a quality indicator because people are at least consuming it, but it's not engaging enough, so you're never going to push beyond average reach, really.
So comments are the key.
Getting comments, using content types that are engaging, so live video and video. I think using stuff like Facebook offers, like events, some of those sort of Cinderella content pieces that people don't see that often, that's kind of new to us, you know, it stops us in our tracks. And, you know, things like, you know, just rather than just one image, maybe use images that tell a story, use some of those carousel posts, you know, vary your content types up, only post if you have something really, really relevant to say. And one of the things that they said in this new announcement is that pages are penalised if previous content was unengaging and didn't get great reach. So we would really suggest...
history means a lot.
So if if you've not got something good to say, don't say it. So, for instance, if you've got something that's very local and locally relevant, only target that to local people. Don't send it to everyone on your page. And then like that, your locals will engage with it and it's not annoying everybody else. So little tips like that, really.
Yeah, I see that. Actually, like, talking about Facebook pages.
Yes.
My kind of, let's say, I really love them, but well, from other side, I understand that if you are going to establish a Facebook group, you really need to invest in it. It's just like a small community.
Yes.
Because you need to post there regularly. You need to ask people to comment regularly. Otherwise, it's going to be like a point of nowhere.
Yeah. You need to be reminding people that you're there all the time, but only with decent quality content. And you do need to invest time and resource in it. And I think as a page, you've got to be spending some money on boosting those posts or creating ads that are driving engagement of those posts. It's not enough to just be posting nowadays. You'll just skim the surface of the kind of people that could be seeing your content.
But how can you encourage people to, not only to join conversation, but also to start those conversations? Because it's like I've noticed in your group, for instance, in Team Digitarian, a lot of people, they're asking questions on a regular basis. So how do you encourage them to do that?
It's a kind of magical thing, really, isn't it? So you're talking about our Team Digitarati Facebook group, full of lots of really exciting digital media people, social media people. And they ask really interesting things. They sometimes post really interesting links. What's the magic thing? I think we, as the admins, try and post really interesting, engaging content.
So you are filtering those?
We're just setting the bar, really. And I'll post loads of stuff about Facebook. So often, the other people in the group will post about other things. So they might post about some SEO topic or something that I'm not tending to post about. They know that we love a bit of controversial content. So, they'll often, if they see something controversial, they'll often post it. And I think as well, I'm just really super encouraging of people when they do post. I thank them for posting. I will ask a counter question about it, or if they post a question that's about something I can give a response to, sure, I'm really happy for other members of the community to respond. But I will go out of my way to find an answer that's not just a one-liner, but I'll dig out blog posts and all the rest. So I am working hard at trying to encourage people to make it worth their while asking those questions.
So I have a question actually, because all those, if we talk especially about B2B, all those Facebook groups, they seem to be about professional side, professional questions. But do you think whether it's good or bad to talk about personal things, like asking about their hobbies, trying to involve a personal side inside those groups?
That's a good question. I bring that in on my own. So, for instance, the other week I screen grabbed some Facebook ads that had come into my newsfeed and talked about the targeting of them based on my interests and hobbies. So I certainly share something of myself. I don't think I do too much of asking them in the group unless I felt it was relevant. So we might have a sort of fun thing on a Friday or something.
Yeah, then share what you love.
But I wouldn't do too much of it, because if you've got a B2B group or a page that is quite serious, you don't want to have lots of fluffy content in it. It's like Happy Friday kind of stuff.
The general angle of everything.
So
you should be careful.
I would just be really careful. I mean, culturally, I think in some cultures that could work far better, but in this British kind of maybe bit American culture, I'd be really, really careful about not doing too much of it.
Yeah, because I remember one company, actually it was Ahrefs, in their group, they've asked to post a picture where do you work today?
Yes.
It was quite cool actually, because people were sharing actually a story behind all those pictures.
That's fantastic. I mean, for our group, we could do something like send us a photo of your workstation, because that would be relevant and you'd see all this tech and their digital stuff. So I think if you can share something personal that's relevant to the group and is really of interest to them, then great. But it's just finding that little hook, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be somehow connected to the main topic, but still Okay, and I have a question about your hobbies. You love knitting and also tulips.
You've been on my Facebook profile, haven't you? So I do quite a lot of knitting. I quite like it because it's not on the screen, so I can just sit and knit and it's not screen time. I like knitting. I like flowers. My first degree is in photography, so I do photograph a lot of flowers. And I do a lot of yoga as well. So
yoga as well.
That's my other thing. So yeah, and again, it's not screen time. It's forcing me to be away from the screen and from social media for an hour at a time. I'm used to doing it at home because there's always something on that's too distracting. But I'll go to a class, and I love my yoga.
So you're really into yoga. I guess I have the same passion. I'm really into horse riding. I'm a horse. I love it. But I don't post a lot. I also try to just kind of make a small kind of maybe mention sometimes. I don't have Instagram, so I'm kind of what I can do.
I'm not convinced that any of my followers are really going to want to see me trying to get into weird yoga poses.
So, and what's the story behind Team Digitaria Group? I mean, you launched it because of...
Okay, yeah, sure. So I met my colleague Carlton, who's the other side of the camera actually. Come in here.
Yeah, come.
We're on screen. Here is Carlton.
Yeah.
You can say hello.
Hello.
So we're just giving the story behind the Team Digitaria Group setup. So Carl and I met at Manchester Metropolitan University. We were doing a master's in digital. I was basically doing a master's in Facebook, and Carlton was doing all things technical and digital.
That's right.
And so we did that. We met a bunch of amazing people. Another one's behind the camera here as well. And we decided that we started being asked individually to be doing some consultancy work for clients, and realised that actually the team of us could do so much better together. So we set up an agency. So we do a lot of consultancy in, obviously my thing is more social and maybe a bit of strategic marketing. Carlton's much more of a technical marketer.
He's going to tell us actually.
Yes. Well, I get involved in a bit more the technical side of things, some of the strategic aspects, but mostly things like marketing automation and some of the more technical aspects of the Facebook marketing work that we do for clients. So yeah, that's my sort of core specialism.
What kind of marketing automation you do? It's more related to social media, or it's based on users' behavior on the site and email marketing?
Yeah, mostly email marketing, but also to do with Facebook and social media. We use a few platforms that we help us both run our own business and help other clients with their business setup. So yeah.
So one of the things we've been working on a lot recently is funnel marketing, which is dovetailing content pieces, video marketing, email marketing, social media marketing, and Carlton kind of brings that all together in terms of decent landing pages, the masses of different platforms that we are using to data capture and then push out. So, if people find us and go to our website, they'll see pop-ups that will deliver them some really nice freebies, and then they're in whatever is a suitable email funnel, and that's Carlton's work.
And really. I do the occasional bit of tweeting at BrightonSEO. So
he's carrying my bags today.
Official bag carrier, very glamorous.
Yeah, that's very cool actually. I always, when I'm attending conferences like speaking, I always ask my colleagues from Russian office to tweet something about me. So we just prepare it in advance, and then they ask me, "Are you on a stage or not? Can I start tweeting?" I'm just like, no, stop. There is a small delay. Stop doing that. There was once that was very funny because they started to tweet earlier than I was on the stage. It was very funny.
Oh right, no, it's been good having him here.
Embarrassing time.
He's photographed it, sent it out immediately while I've been talking, and has fielded some of the tweets that come in. So that's
just done some more now.
Good.
I just tagged you both in it. So watch the Twitter feed.
I need to finish answering the question about the Facebook group though, because that's where you were at. So I was talking about how Digitaria got set up in the first place. And what we realised is that the Facebook page just had very little reach and engagement. It wasn't particularly where we wanted to spend a lot of time, despite that being my area of expertise. So we built that group, and nearly 2,000 members later, and we've closed the membership now. You can really only get access to that group if you are part of our Digitaria Academy program, because we just want it to be a really quality place of good quality advice rather than just being open to all and sundry. And it's been a really engaging place where people in the group create content, don't they?
That's right, and we've sort of shifted our own strategy away from our page, Facebook page, towards the group, just because it suits our business better. We don't do a massive amount of Facebook advertising ourselves for our business, but we do a lot for our clients' businesses. So it works for us. It works really well, the group.
So you have data, and you can just find the right base for your business as well, because you do a lot of experiments.
That's right.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's worked really well for our business, and it creates a community where there's lots of people who are very generous with their knowledge and experience, and that's created a great sort of place for digital marketers to hang out.
But it's actually, for me as a digital marketer, I'm learning from that group all the time. It's not just about me creating that and facilitating that for our benefit commercially. I'm constantly learning from the things that people are sharing, and if I post something, often I'll have people that are disagreeing with me, and they'll have a counter argument, and that's really good for me, because there is never one right answer.
Discussions are always good. That's what I'm mostly missing on, a lot of, actually, why I think that currently, the development of digital marketing landscape is so confusing for me, because a lot of blogs, like Search Engine Journal, and the rest of others might be Search Engine Land, and a lot of social media blogs, they've recently, that was not recently actually, around 1 year ago, they removed comments. That's for me so much confusing, because I do understand that the real engagement only happening with those comments, because when I look at a piece, first of all I look at besides social shares and traffic, I also look at the number of comments, because that's a real indicator of an engagement.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that, of course, Mark Zuckerberg's really shifted with Facebook into generating comments. Anything that drives conversation is something that's going to get traction these days.
I do. I mean, as someone that creates content for a blog, I find the comments quite a challenge. In that we have articles that we've written maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago, and people are still commenting and asking us questions, and I'm like, well, I knew all about this 4 years ago, but I'm going to have to just re-immerse myself in that in order to answer the question. So I can see why they do close comments off, but we try our best to respond to them, despite them being quite old. But actually, one of the talks I went to today was really about auditing the content on your blog and saying, look, if it's out of date, it might be best to cull it, because particularly in this industry, everything moves so quickly. It may just be time to close that page down rather than still have it open with sort of out-of-date information on it.
Yeah, it might be.
Having said that, all those lovely SEO-friendly links coming in, you're like, I don't know that
I love, when a real conversation, meaningful conversation happens, I say, I love this industry. I love this industry, but in the majority of cases, I see those comments that really don't make any sense. People just randomly just adding something which is blah blah blah.
There's always weird comments.
Or there's the tumbleweed. There's nothing. And your heart stinks.
Yeah, you're like, everything is useless.
I spent days crafting that, and no one likes it.
Oh yeah, it's very hard actually. Content just promotion. That's a part of everything right now. A very hard thing actually.
I'm doing some content marketing sessions I'm going to go to this afternoon. This is a very technical conference if you want to go, and that's not me at all. So I'll be looking at social media and content marketing. Carlton can go and get his head blown apart by all the technical stuff.
I'm off to see some influencer marketing at the moment, so I might learn a thing or two.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, for allowing the conversation. Thanks for just popping out. And so, thank you.